Hey guys, Amy Chan here. So I said I was going to come back and start videos, so this is me coming back. I wanted to start off with like a story time of like my anxiety and things, and give you like a tip or trick, or two tips should I say, that I've picked up along the way that have helped me greatly. First of all, my anxiety, I am quite crippled by it. I can barely leave the house because of how hard it is. So I'll leave the house and I will feel like I'm going to get attacked or going to get kidnapped or something along the way. It's something that I've kind of had for a very long time now, and I suffer from catastrophic thinking, so I tend to jump to the worst conclusion, like a lot of people. Some people can't handle this, dealing with someone with anxiety, which is fine. It's something that you probably can't understand until you experience it for yourself. That's perfectly fine. My partner, he tries, but he's a very logical person. He tries to logic a lot of my problems, which unfortunately I don't respond well to logic. It makes it worse. So I'll be on a train, I'll be convinced that it's going to crash, and then he'll tell me that it's like a 1% chance, and then my head will instantly perceive that and go, well, you're the 1%. So I then start panicking even more because I feel like I'm the 1%. Much like with his driving, he'll say things like, oh, his car's not going to break down, and I really hate that because it's like, well, you don't know that, and therefore my head is thinking, oh, well, it's going to break down this time. It's quite crippling. I really struggle. It manifests itself in a shadow and a demon form for me. I have a shadow that looms over my shoulder all the time, whispering into my ear, just making situations worse. I have an imp demon thing that puts obstacles in my way. So if I trip over thin air, it's tripping over thin air, but in my head I perceive it as the imp throwing out like a line or something to make me trip. So if I get caught in any obstacle, unfortunate events, in my head I perceive that as the imp. And then if I make matters worse in my head because of something else, it's the shadow in my ear whispering, making things worse. I get that it's hard to be there for someone that you can't logic it out with when you're a logical person. Just being there is enough, and it does annoy me that some people don't accept the fact that you can't logic it sometimes. Not everyone can logic. If you can logic it, that's great, but not everyone can. Now, I learned a little trick in therapy that has helped me massively. It equates to the Triforce in Zelda. It's basically you pick some characters from something, or you make your own character, or you pick from your own friends or whatever, and you assign a person to each part of the Triforce. So you have wisdom, courage, and power, basically. Now, I had Oliver Queen and as the Green Arrow in wisdom. I had Thomas Shelby from Peaky Blinders in courage, and I had Roy Mustang from Full Metal Alchemist as power. However, I ended up using Roy Mustang the most, and he ended up filling up all three of the sections. So what you do is when you're out there or somewhere and you're getting anxious and you can't help yourself, you picture them being with you and coaching you through the situation. In my case, I'll be walking down the road, there'll be a bush rustle, and in my head I'll immediately think of someone just about to jump out and attack me. So what I do is I would picture Roy Mustang beside me. I would picture him just taking my hand gently in his and telling me that it's okay and that he's there, and then all the troubles would just kind of brush away. Another thing that has helped me is that I often have something in my mouth. I will have chewing gum in my mouth, which is great help because when you're starting to get anxious, you just focus on the chewing gum. Mint Imperials work, or any form of hard sweet that you suck, or bubble gum, or something along the lines. These particular two tricks have helped me massively. So I was extremely anxious about getting a tattoo in my life. I never wanted one because I was scared. I was really anxious. So I went out and got a tattoo of Roy Mustang's symbol on my arm. Now, this was a great shock because I never thought I'd get a tattoo because I was so scared. However, because of what Roy had done for me in my head, I was able to overcome that and get a tattoo. I now have 3, with some more hopefully on their way eventually. It sounds silly, but just imagining a person there with you is a great help for me, I appreciate that not all of these tips will help everyone. I completely get that. I just thought I would share my 2 little tricks and a quick explanation of my anxiety, and I'm more than happy to listen or talk to someone if they need someone to talk to or something. Great. I suffer heavily with depression as well. My anxiety is by far my worst. It has very much almost made me housebound quite a lot. I really struggle. Thankfully, where we've moved to, which is 4 hours away from where we were from, so I don't actually have any family or anybody nearby that I can just nip out to go see. I'm basically on my own here while my partner's out at work. Now, this has been a real struggle to adjust to, but I have adjusted quite well, and literally just across the road, I'm not even kidding, just across the road we have a Asda Superstore. Now this has been great for me because I can go out and do a little bit of shopping throughout the day, and it allows me to interact with people occasionally. The doctor's surgery that we have is about a 15-minute walk, but I do have to go through like 2 or 3 alleyways, which is horrifying for me. I hate it. It is definitely terrifying, so I try to avoid that as much as I can. But the Asda Superstore is great. We've got a load of places nearby that I could just walk to, and it's kind of a nice area for me to get to and live through and hopefully overcome a little bit more of my anxiety. Moving where I has been helpful because I've had to take the initiative and work on myself because I've had no one else here. So I have gotten a lot better since we've moved. It's been great moving where we have and moving out with my partner because he is a great source of strength for me. He is there for me no matter what. We've been going through some stuff that hopefully I will be able to talk to you about soon enough. That has been great. I'm going to talk about my depression in another video because I went through a very dark time. There was a few other things I want to talk about as well. I hope that any of these tips or tricks helped in any shape or form. Sometimes just ignoring it works, so there's a few things that make me jump and scared that I've learned to live with and I've just kind of ignored at this point, and I can just walk along, and if something like that happens I'll get scared, but then I can just push it out of my mind. Another part of the anxiety that makes very difficult for me is darkness. I really struggle in darkness. I don't like it, and it's not so much that I'm scared of the dark, it's more I'm scared of what's in the dark. Because of the shadow always looming over me, I always kind of see shapes and stuff in darkness, and I know it's my mind playing tricks on me, it doesn't help very much. And I really struggle to sleep in darkness unless I have my partner in the bed with me. So before we moved I couldn't turn lights off. I had to have a TV on in the background or a light. But since we've moved I've been able to sleep in the darkness because it's just great having the presence of somebody there. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was just a quick little talk about my anxiety. I'm more than happy to do an extended version of my anxiety if somebody wants to hear it. But it's very long and complicated and difficult to explain sometimes, but that's the only problem with anxiety. And I hope that I will see you all in the next video. Ami Chan, signing out. Bye.